Batman number 76, Tom King writing, with Tony S. Daniel on the art. This is the second part of City of Bane. And lo and behold, we have a normal issue of Batman that doesn't really have that much weird stuff in it. There's just a nice normal progression in the story.
You're only saying that because of Kite Man.
I'm not only saying that because of Kite Man.
You're only saying that because of Hype Man.
I would not say this is progression.
No,
I think you're being far too generous with the word
felt
progression.
this was a half an issue.
Straightforward, I will give you.
Straightforward,
Not
sure.
doing weird, stupid shit, I will give you. Progression, I will fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't know how Connor feels.
I do like that out of the gate, King. I almost said Taylor, but King is showing us just how powerful Gotham Girl really is.
On that mistake that you just made there was a great tweet here this week from Batman's Bookcase, who's on Twitter, who mentioned, he just a simple tweet, he said, if Tom Taylor's not the next regular writer on Batman, then what are we even doing here? And a truer tweet has never been spoken in my life. Like, Tom Taylor should be the next Batman writer. I'm saying it. I'm putting my...
Yeah.
I would be quite happy to just cancel the remaining King issues and just give them to Taylor right now.
Oh dear, yes.
But
yes.
But no, like
Captain Atom
shows us just how powerful she is when she takes out Captain Atom in that way.
Yeah, she's because he's like
trying to intervene in Gotham.
She's like, he's like, don't you know who I am? And she's like, nah, not really.
I don't care. Yeah.
It just throws him out of this. Literally, we find out that if any Bat family members enter Gotham City, they'll kill Alfred. Right, that's the reason why they're not entering, and that any superheroes are being thrown out by Gotham Girl. So it's really, and I did like this issue a fair bit, because I think the last issue I mostly liked as well, even though there was a couple of weird elements, and the way it kind of shoved us into it was a little bit strange. I think between, by the end of the last issue, getting a real sense of what the world that we've set up is here in Gotham, and in this issue, having, Scarecrow with Kite Man, and Tweedledee and Tweedledum, like having them be like the few remaining villains who have not been mind washed yet, and like running scared, from Flashpoint Batman. I actually really like this stuff. I like the world building it's doing and the new status quo that it's set up. It's starting to feel a little bit I don't know, No Man Land esque, or I've heard people compare it to Arkham City a little bit. So like I actually kind of like that aspect of it. I laughed out loud when Kite Man's flying Scarecrow and one of the Dumbs.
One of the Tweedles.
Yeah, and he's like, I've not calculated for this weight, we're far too heavy. And Scarecrow just blasts the Tweedle with some gas and he falls. And Kite Man's like, oh, good grief. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean to do that.
Going back to the feeling like no man's land or whatever, I definitely feel like this is King's commentary on his take on Batman, right? Where we got War Jokes and Riddles, which was about, chaos versus control. And now you have controlled chaos. And that it's basically a Gotham where Batman won, right? But is that really a Gotham worth having? Because you have Flashpoint Batman in this, where he doesn't, Bruce doesn't need to be there. Bane's actually like running things, and the city seems to be going, and that the government's kind of like, well, Gotham's problems are Gotham's problems, as long as they're not causing problems for the rest of us.
Yeah, but
we'll look the other way.
It almost sounds at one point as well that Gotham's like government are actually letting all this go because it has actually improved the city, and they're just like, no, we're just going to let this go on. As far as we're concerned, it's solved everything.
Right, but it's still Gotham doing what Gotham does, right? That hasn't changed. The crime and elements are still there. It's just, it's almost like Batman fighting it has made things worse, and whatnot. So I like that commentary on Batman and how Flashpoint Batman seemed to think like, in this world where Batman's not needed, everything's better, but it's really not. Nothing's really changed. So it's almost like this thing, like, what has Bruce actually done? And I feel like we'll see, and that's what King's setting up here, is when Bruce does finally snap out of whatever coma he's in, You know.
Yeah, we're building up to a
So-
big return where he like comes back to save the city
Yeah.
and right things, back to the way they are. And
Right.
can I say how much I love the kite quarters? Can we
Yeah.
talk about that
Um,
a little bit?
my biggest negative on this issue was I don't think King really knows how to write Damien. The
Fuck
whole
him.
stuff with him and Tim.
Mm-hmm.
The Tim stuff didn't bother me as much, but just like I don't know, after getting Damien from Taylor and Deceased and having Tomasi write him, where I think Tomasi gets Damien's voice the most.
He's the person who's got Damien the best. Absolutely.
Yeah. So after coming off of that for a while and then going to this where he just feels like a spoiled brat,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just like, I feel like this would be a moment for him and Tim to actually bond and be like, I don't know what to do. Instead of going, well, no, I know exactly what to do. And I'm going to run in there and save the day, where, I don't know, I just feel like Damien's grown in the years since,
Yeah, I mean, I think what I like about this issue is that while we got the actual details of what's happening in the city last issue, I think this is the one that gave me a sense of how it feels and what
Yeah.
the feeling is and the predicament that Batman needs to come and save it from. That final page of Gotham Girl with Flashpoint Batman saying we have won, like it's over, and seeing the villains running scared, and obviously they come and get Kite Man and whatever. And I also like the scene with Selina putting up the painting she's stolen, that she's like only stolen to raise money to like make sure Bruce can heal. Like I kind of like the little speech she gives about how we have to give it away tomorrow, but it's nice for just one night. And it almost sounds representative of their relationship, where he's always going to go back to work. Like it's always going to go back to being the bat and the cat. But they have these little windows of, there.
Yeah, and I love
Matty
what
might.
Matty Mike's good.
So stall for a second until Matt's.
I will say
fixed.
I'm not a fan of Daniel's Selena without the
No.
goggles.
That's fair.
I felt the art in this issue was not Daniel's
I
best.
think
Like,
his Catwoman is fine. His
Yeah.
Selena is not.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I like his Scarecrow actually a lot. If we're on the
Yeah,
subject.
Scarecrow did look good. I want to say about that painting, about how just mundane the actual painting is, the Renoir. Like, compared to, we get this little lesson about where art was at that time, and that it's just basically someone going about their business. And I just feel like that's also Bruce's life. That, he is Batman, Batman is Bruce, and they're inexorably tied to one another.
Yeah.
No matter how much neither Batman nor Bruce wants to,
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
You know what it
that.
is? I've figured out on Selena what it is about Selena that looks so weird. So because it's not goggles anymore, is it? It's just the eye. Yeah. So but she's still got the rest of it up. She's just folded up the bit under her eyes, and that's what makes it look really weird. Because the rest of it's still up there. The ears are still there, but you haven't got the goggles sitting there, and alternatively, you haven't got anything around her eyes, so it looks off because of that.
Yeah, and I like kind of the desperation of Selena here at the end, where she says, she promises she won't steal anything again if he wakes up, and I don't believe her, but it's kind of this moment for her, like, to show how concerned she is, and she's like making these false promises because now you have to wake up again. And I like the idea of like, I left for a while, and this is what's happened to him. Like, like I left, I was out of his life, and everything came crumbling down. And funnily enough, the book itself has kind of struggled a little bit since Selena kind of left. Interestingly. So, I was actually pretty into this issue, and I was mostly positive on the last one. I think I'm into City of Bane. It's not necessarily hit like absurd highs for me yet, but I'm getting a feel for the city and what's going on and how everyone's like dealing with it. Obviously it's a long arc, so we'll see if it sustains I think it's like almost 10 issues that it is. Because it's like 75 to 85 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm mostly actually positive on this issue. I'm happy to say that about Batman again, because there was a little time there where I was kind of not looking forward to reading it every week or every 2 weeks. And it's coming kind of back around to what I like about it, because I like King's Batman for a long time. It just there was this weird stumbling block for a few arcs, like there. We've talked about that before. We'll have to get into it again, but I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about the issue overall, Matt?
No, I like it. I just at this point with King's Batman, I'm just like it's there. It's a book I read. I don't look forward to it, you know,
Too far
or
gone.
anything. Yeah, like I'm waiting until the end. So my ear itches.
And I presume Connor's the most negative out of the three of us.
Yeah, what Matt was saying there. I'm kind of out now. There's only 10 issues left, right? So, well, less than now, I think. But it's just like, all right, well, might as well. I'm not a fan of the extended monologue still. Like you got the 2-page Captain Atom to Tim monologue, and the Selena monologue to Bruce. It's multiple pages of just one character monologue. I'm not a fan of this.
That's fair. I mean, I guess that's a taste thing because I actually quite like the Selena monologue, but
it's not the content itself; it's just the way it's paced. Where here's a huge page of text with all this stuff on it, and I feel it when I'm reading it.
That's fair. Yeah, that's Batman. I'm kind of excited a bit so far. I like. There's potential here for the run to go out in a high. Matt, what are you giving Batman 76?
I'm gonna give it 7.5.
So it was very fair. Connor?
Not a 5. I didn't hate it as much as the last couple.
My God, he's so... We'll give it a 5. I didn't hate it as much as the last couple. I am going to give it a nice even 8, I think. I'm feeling it.